Okay, so far we are looking at a multiple linear regression models, and the type of variables that we discussed so far are quantitative, in the sense that so far we took our y variable, which can be represented in different quantities. For example, we saw the example of wage rate, which can be represented in dollars. We looked at house prices, which can also be represented in dollars. And then we looked at GPA, which could be measured in points. So these are some types of dependent variables that we discussed so far. Similarly, we talked about different types of explanatory variables. On the right hand side, we discussed education, which could be represented in years, sales, which can be represented in dollars. So these are some of the examples that we looked at so far in terms of our dependent variable y and our independent variables. Paying close attention will reveal that all of these variables are quantitative in the sense that they can be represented in different units. And these are some of the examples of units that we can use in our regression model. But sometimes we want to include information in the regression model that can not be represented quantitatively. For example, we may be interested in including gender in the model, or we may be interested in including marital status of a person, or we may be interested in some sort of ranking in the model. So in this chapter, we're going to look at how to include this type of qualitative information in the model. We're going to look at how to include this type of qualitative information in the dependent variable as well as in the explanatory variables. That is, we can include gender on the left hand side as a dependent variable as well as include it on the right hand side. One way to incorporate this type of information in a regression model is to use what we call dummy variables. These dummy variables show the presence or absence of a particular characteristic in a variable. For example, if we are representing gender, we can say that this characteristic is female. So whenever a person is female, it will assign a value of 1, and for male, it will assign a value of 0 because this person is not female. So this way we can represent this type of information in a regression model. Similarly, if we have data about different people and we want to include their marital status in the regression model, we can ask a question whether this person is married or not. So using dummy variable, we will assign a value of 1 to a person who is married and 0 otherwise. So this way we will be able to include this qualitative information in the model which we cannot represent otherwise. Sometimes we are dealing with a rating where we have ranking of a person, for example, from 0 to 5, and 0 is say minimum and 5 is maximum. So this is how you represent dummy variables in a model. In the next video, I'm going to show you an example and a graphical representation of a model where we'll have dummy independent variable on the right hand side. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.